Welcome to Studio 340, where our host with the most is no other than the Honorable Sheriff Antonio Hash.
Well, thank you for the introduction. I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
That sounds amazing. It's our first podcast, and so I'm excited about this opportunity that we're able to be informative or give informative information to our citizens here in the city of Roanoke. This 8-time All-American city.
That's
and
right.
So
that's right.
I'm very appreciative of the citizens in Roanoke City who support our agency and day in and day out. And so one of those things we talked about day one is being transparent with our agency. And so today we want to talk about a couple of things. Visitation. Just jump right into it, right? It's different. Over the last 4 years, when the pandemic came, we wasn't in a position that we could continue visitation in the building. One, because we had several people getting sick, our residents, or you all may know them as inmates.
Right.
But we call them residents in the building getting sick. And so we didn't know they were getting sick because they were bringing it in or they were getting sick because we were bringing it in as a staff. And so the previous command said, hey, they end the visitation, which that was for the safety of everybody in the building.
And that's in-person visitation.
That was in-person visitation. Okay. So, here it is post-pandemic. And we said, we can't keep on going. They opened up the whole city, the world, for the most part. And so we're saying, hey, we need to start doing visitation again. So we had the conversation in our command and executive staff meetings on what visitation looks like in our facility. Okay. And so after talking to our command staff, they gave us the green light from their side of the house because, one, we had to make sure that the deputies were trained. Right. As you all know, a lot of our staff members are new over the last 4 to 5 years. We have a generation of new deputies who worked here, never seen what visitation looked like. Right. So we had to trust the process, get them all trained again. And so after we got them trained, they say, sure, we think the next launch date should be soon. And so we looked at our calendar, and ladies and gentlemen, visitation soon is soon. Visitation is coming back in-house on July the 20th.
Okay, this Saturday.
Yes, this Saturday. Okay. And from the hours of 1 to 3. That's in-person, non-contact visitation. Okay. So we are excited about that.
Okay. And so I'm going to say, as an employee who's just been here for the past few years, this will be something different for me. So I have quite a few questions for you today. So go right ahead.
Well, bring your questions. So the visitation will start at 2 different locations on the same campus of Roanoke City Sheriff's Office. Our detention center is attached to our building. So visitation will start at 324 Campbell Avenue. Okay. And it will also be at 330 Campbell Avenue. Okay. And so that visitation will start promptly at 1 o'clock until 3. We do have in our policy where a deputy will be out 20 minutes prior to that visitation just to make sure that we're starting to get the names on the list. So at 1 o'clock, visitation can start promptly. So again, they have been trained, they're ready to go. And so I'm excited for the next opportunity.
Okay, so here we go with my questions, because I love to ask questions.
I seen it in your eyes. I was like, she got questions, and I got a response.
I do.
That's what I do.
So number one, the 324 address, if I'm not mistaken, that's where they're redoing the building. Is that correct in the front?
That is correct. So with the partnership with the city of Roanoke, they gave us the ability to go ahead with the funds and to move forward. And so the magistrate's office had put in a request years ago saying, hey, what does it look like for us to start the renovations for the magistrate's office. At one time we thought we was going to shut the whole building down for that process, but we had to realize very quickly
we can't do
our
that.
Day-to-day operations don't shut down. We're 24/7, right? 365 days a year, right? 24. We ain't here day in and day out. So with that being said, they gave us the money and the renovations have started. It is going to be amazing. Okay. And I know we had talked previously about, some of the colors and the doorknobs. I just told them, get it done so we can go back to our normalcy in the building. Okay,
I'm excited to see it.
So where the citizens now, they come down, everybody's in one room. Everybody can hear you and things like that. It's going to be multiple rooms, a waiting area. Okay. Also a place where the 2 people can walk up to the magistrate's windows in 2 separate places.
Okay.
Talk to those magistrates, and then being released to go back out to society. So it's going to be nice. And so we'll soon post up some pictures and what they look like, and things like that. But you should see some pictures on our website here soon when we get to the end of this process. Okay. But we'll share a little light.
Okay, I'm nosy, so I'm excited about that.
So the construction, be very mindful. Again, as I say, when you show up on our campus, you will see a makeshift fence out in front of the facility at this point, right? Okay. So just be mindful be careful, like, where you step. Mm-hmm. We still in ADA compliance. Okay. And so if you have a cane, walker, wheelchair, there is still access to both of our buildings at 324 Campbell and 330 Campbell. So it shouldn't be no issues that should stop visitation.
Okay. Yeah. So here's another question that I have for you, because I just want to know. Let's say I'm coming down to see a family member, and you gave me 2 different locations. How would I know which location I'm supposed to go to?
So that deputy that's down there working either spot at 324 or 330, if you come up to them and say, hey, give us your loved one's last name. We can pull it up, boo-boo. Hey, this is where they at on the main side, or they're on the annex. A lot of times, if you're writing them already, it should say when you write them, if they're on the main side of the detention center or the annex side. But if you do not know, our deputies would be happy to assist you. That's why we're here. Okay.
And I know you said that they'll start, I believe, getting people together 20 minutes before it starts. But how early can I get here? Because, if I really, really want to see my person, I want to be in the first group. So how early do I need to be there?
The doors are always open in both areas. So you can come down as early as you want to, because it's a general public or general access area for our public. Okay. We just ask that when you get down here in years past, they did start like a little, I don't know where they found this paper at, but somehow, I don't know if they looked on our desks or whatever, but they found a piece of paper, and everybody started jotting the names down in the order that they come into the room. That's smart. Okay. Because if I got here an hour early, I want to be the first ones being visited to see, to visit my loved one. So I think that's very important to know. Somebody may start a list, but just be mindful if you come in, know the order that you came in. When that deputy get up there, he'll say whoever was here first. Okay. Go ahead and line up, and then we'll start to check you in. Okay. So the next thing, people say, well, who can I show up? Anybody can show up if you on a person's visitation list, right? Okay. When they come into our facility, they ask, the deputies in classification, who do you want on your visitation list? My understanding, according to our policy, they give us 8 names. Oh, okay. Those 8 names go on your list. They'll be allowed to come and visit. For some reason, you only gave them 3 names. If you write classification and you haven't done your 120-day review, if you have space on the list, they normally can add somebody on there for you. Oh, okay. If your list is full, they make you wait the 120 days for the review. Okay. Because if not, we'll be changing names every day, all day. So we try to be respectful of their time and their practices down in classification.
That makes sense.
People show up and say, hey, can I just walk in? No, you cannot. Okay. So just to be honest with you, there's identification cards that you need. So I know it's a driver's license, a state issued ID, a college issued ID with a picture.
How about if I have my work badge in the car and I don't?
You have your work badge with a ID, with a photo ID on the badge. You can use that as well. And so, bring those items down. It can't be expired. It's a valid. Oh, okay. Valid ID. Okay. So driver's license, ID card, student ID with a picture, work badge with a picture. Those things that get you in. If you don't have those items and you say, hey, I still want to come, you can use a voter registration card. You can use
how about my library card?
Your library card, your social security card. Okay. You can use your registration for your vehicle. You can use an ID with no picture on it, just as long as it has your name on it. Okay. But you need those other items to go along with it. So 3 valid items. Okay. Okay. For those items that you need just to make sure you have something, it is on our policy. You can look on our website. Okay. And or it should have something on there about visitation. If not, then we'll make sure we get something to you. But inside of all of our lobbies, the visitation information, according to our policy should always be listed somewhere in Visitation.
Okay. So I just want to make sure. Now, you're not going to keep my papers, right? You are going to give me my stuff back?
No, we just verify that this is the proper documentation and that it is you.
Okay.
And then once we verify it, we give it back to you. Now, let me just be honest with you. If you come down to our facility on that particular day and you give us your information, we have to log it into VC and NCIC. It's a JMS system.
Okay.
That's attached to our law enforcement system. If we put your name in and you have a warrant for your arrest, you will be taken into custody.
Okay.
So I tell people all the time, you know, if you out here in these streets and you know you're doing wrong, don't come down here.
You might not want to do a visit.
Right. You know, or you make sure you carry some money in with you to put on your book so you can have them release a check to the bondsman. So just be mindful of that. We don't want to set you up for failure.
Right. We appreciate that.
But we have to do our job as well because that's what we're required to do. Okay. Can't just let you walk back out in the streets. It don't work like that. Okay.
Okay. And I want to say, I know you said that I could find some information on your website. Is that the RoanokeSheriff'sOffice.com? Is that the website you're referring to?
I would agree.
Oh, okay. All right. I just wanted to make sure.
I'm agreeing with you.
All right.
And your team. So yes. So that is correct. Okay. So I know you talked about, you know, contraband. Please don't bring no contraband down here.
Okay.
Cell phones are not allowed in the building. No video recording devices are not allowed. No cigarettes, no weed, no none of that stuff. You can't bring it. Don't even attempt to bring it. Because if we identify that you are the person who transported it on this campus, because this is a federal campus, like you cannot bring it on this campus because, again, look at the signs outside the building. Right. It said, "Do not bring contraband, or you will be charged." Okay. It's just how it is.
Okay, so let me ask you this: you know, females like to come in. You know, maybe I haven't seen my loved one, whoever that may be, in a while. Nice. You know, I want to look cute, right? So I want to come in. I have my little outfit on, little crossbody, something. Basically, are you saying to me, I need to come in? Have my ID, or if I need something else with me, and leave all the rest of the stuff in the car?
I agree. Don't make it difficult on yourself. You come in, it's hot outside. You come in, you looking nice.
Right.
Come in, then you sweat. You gotta go back outside. Don't even do that to yourself. Right. Bring your wallet in with you if you need it. Make sure there's nothing in your wallet that's going to keep you from going upstairs. Okay. But I would just grab your ID, a little cash, check out our vending machines, and then let that be it. Okay. No keys that have knives on it, pepper spray, or anything that will harm anybody while you're inside the building. But leave all that stuff in the car if you can, or leave it at home. Okay. All right?
Makes sense. I'm sorry. I know I'm asking a lot of questions, but, you know, it's new for me, too.
Yeah, so Visitation, again, is new. But, again, Visitation starts this Saturday, July the 20th from 1 to 3. Okay. And, again, we are excited to open up Visitation, again, for our citizens in Roanoke City.
Is this for the whole family? Is this adults and kids?
So this is adults only this Saturday. And then what will end up happening, if we get everything worked out, and get everybody trained and moving in the right direction where the residents understand the process and things like that. We're going to talk about extending Visitation on other days throughout the week. Okay. But let's get through this weekend first, see what it look like. See how it goes. We'll get a report back on Monday. And then from there,
I hope
we'll talk about extending Visitation, but it will start this Saturday, July the 20th from 1 to 3 o'clock.
Okay, great. Yep. Now, I do have one more question. I'm sorry. Every time you say something, you're giving so much good information, it makes me think of something else.
Absolutely.
So if I'm coming to visit my family member or whomever, did you say that the visits are only 20 minutes? Like, is there any way I could squeeze another 5-10 minutes out of the visit?
Everybody want to stay long, right? So it all depends on the floor that you're going to. That floor may have a slew of people that's sitting behind you or waiting to go upstairs for visits. And so we send them up in increments of 5, right? Okay. They get upstairs, they visit, and then the next group may be right behind you. If you have a group behind you, then you only get 20 minutes. Okay. But if they haven't been able in a position to fill that entire group, that deputy may wait until maybe 1 or 2 more people sign up. And if for some reason they don't went to 25 minutes, 30 minutes, and nobody still has signed up, they're going to start to transition that floor. Because what we don't want to happen is we get here about 2:30 and then everybody show up. And then we're forced, to stay over to 3:30, 4 o'clock. It's unfair to us because we still got to feed in the building, med rounds and things like that. So we be mindful of that process while we're here.
Okay. And then the last thing that I was thinking about is, so for example, we have family all over, right? Mm-hmm. So let's say my long lost cousin who hasn't been here in the past 10 years comes in and asks where so-and-so is at. Is there any way you all would consider letting them see that person?
So our policy states if you're out-of-state resident and you're more or in-state, mm-hmm. but you're 100 miles away from our facility, okay, then we'll consider you coming into the building outside of normal visitation. Okay. What I recommend is you contact our commander in the adult detention center. Okay. Major Powers or Captain Jenkins. Okay. Contact them directly and then let them know that you're from out of state. Okay. Our policy is if it's out of state and we're in a good place to allow you to visit, we'll do that. But that visit is a non-contact visit as well. Okay. Understood. All right. Only visits that we have contact or visits with supervisors. With your attorney. Okay. Or, who else coming to the building? Is it the pastor?
Can your pastor come in?
Your pastor could come if we can get them cleared. And or a detective come in that's working in a supervisory position. He can then come into the building as well. Okay. And it's contact at that moment. A lot of times they need to show videos and things like that. So makes sense. Those are your contact visits. But at this moment, this whole weekend is a non-contact visit.
I got it.
All right.
Got it. Okay.
Well, let me just say it's been an absolute pleasure to be able to bring this informative information back over to the citizens of Roanoke City. I appreciate this opportunity to continue to serve you all as the sheriff of this great all-American city. Mm-hmm. If my office can be of any assistance to you day in or day out, please don't hesitate to contact us because my office is the office of the people.
That's right.
As I always say, we do it better together. We're signing off, Studio 340. Take care.